What's up, guys? I'm Moot.
I'm Ainsley.
And we are
Scream Queenie.
Alright, so we watched a recently released movie that at the time of filming is available right now on HBO Max and also in theaters. And I'm pretty soon will be on demand very, very soon, probably at the time that maybe this is released, maybe it will be. But it is a film by the name of Malignant. It is directed and written by James Wan. Stars Annabelle Wallis as Madison, Maddie Hassan as Sydney, George Young is Detective Kakoa Shaw, and Nicole Brianna White is Detective Regina Moss. Those are the main characters in the story that get the most screen time. What would you like to tell us about the story, my friend?
Well, it starts off with a woman who's pregnant. Well, Madison. She's pregnant and her husband is abusive and he ends up slamming her against the wall. She hits her head and then things start going wonky.
Such as?
Her husband dies. Then she'll have these episodes where she freezes and can't move, but she sees people being killed.
When her husband's killed, she like all of a sudden she's there when he's getting killed, kind of, and then the thing or person that killed her husband is there and kind of jumps on her and knocks her out. Right throughout this, you find out first off that she reveals to her sister who comes to the hospital. Her sister is Sydney, right? She reveals to her that
she was adopted.
Yeah, when she was 8, and she can't remember anything that happened before she was 8. So there are these detectives that we talked about before, Detective Shaw and Detective Moss, that are investigating her husband's murder. And then as this goes along, there are other murders that are happening that she sees happening. And so at one point she tries to tell them about one of them, and she knows that it's happened before they find it, and then they find it. So they think it's her, basically, that it's going on. All right. And so they called it a parasitic twin.
Parasitic twin.
Yeah.
And the people who were killed were the doctors who had kind of experimented on them. And so it turns out that her parasitic twin is taking control of her body and killing these people.
Basically what they did was, when she was a child, and the reason she can't remember anything before she was 8, was because they basically did a surgery on her to where they just stuffed him inside of her head, like his skull portion basically inside of her head, so that she could keep that part, and he was dormant there until her husband slammed her up against the wall, which awoke him, and he starts being able to take control of her body by doing the most painful thing ever. He would turn her hands around and her feet, and it was like
he basically ran her body in reverse.
I'm kind of, this is one of those that I'm like, what did we just watch?
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't.
It was incredibly corny.
I would agree. It was very, very cheesy too. They try to have some soft emotional moments in there, and it didn't hit for me at those parts. When they tried to do that with her and her sister, where she's like, I've been looking for somebody to connect with blood-wise. Yeah. I mean, it's like, in Spider-Man, where the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where all they keep doing is like, with much power comes much responsibility. And they say it like 50 times in the movie. I get it, but it's like, there was too much callback to me, like in some of those things where people kept saying the same things over and over again. That being said, it wasn't a terrible movie. I didn't completely hate it. It was fun at some parts. I did enjoy the Matrix Exorcist-esque scene. I just thought that was kind of funny to me, without really being cheesy. It was just kind of funny. Kind of reminded me of the way that the thing looked. The Gabriel is his name, the parasitic twin. Kind of looked like Darkman. Do you remember those movies? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I think it had Liam Neeson in it. Anyways, he was supposed to kind of be like a superhero, but anyways, it was very
basically looked like a brain with eyeballs, and a mouth.
Yeah, but I'm talking about with the outfit on and all that stuff. You know, kind of like he almost like the Invisible Man or something. You know how how he's got like the trench coat or whatever and all that stuff. How did you feel?
I thought it was a little ridiculous.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
Kind of in a bad way.
About the only thing that kind of creeped me out in the movie was toward the beginning it was very early on when the husband got killed, and then she was kind of in the room, and then all of a sudden, like at the bottom of the stairs, something just like flew by her. I think it was, or it might have been after that even, like she was walking in the house and something kind of went by her and ran by her, you know. And those kind of things kind of freak me out sometimes in movies, because we've all been, you know, going through the house and you think you saw something or something walk by you know, like,
and then you look back and there's nothing there,
you know. So I'm always like, well, is that what's going on? Like, or am I, you know, like, so those kind of things kind of freak me out. But other than that, I mean, I didn't really take anything in the movie anywhere near serious.
And Annabelle Wallace, I've seen her in other things, like we were talking about Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
She's not a bad actress at all.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, she came off as a bad actress.
There were parts where I thought you could see what she could do a little bit. There were a couple of parts where I thought that you could. Then there were other parts that you do not get to see the acting chops that she actually has. I think for me, I'm going to go ahead and give this movie 2.5 screams for me on the counter, because I'm giving it a half because I feel like that it is like, for at least trying. It tried to do something. Commit to something though, to me. Like if you're going campy, commit to campy. You know, if you're trying to tear on our heartstrings here and make us care about the characters, and then if somebody's gonna die, and then we're gonna be consistent about that, you know. I'm caring about minor characters and not the major characters in the movie.
Yeah.
If you're going for pure like action, but action slasher kind of thing or whatever, you know, which is such a thing, then do that. Like, I think it never really figured out what kind of horror movie it was, right? Is it campy? Is it tongue-in-cheek type stuff?
See, I don't think it ever meant to be campy, and that's one thing that I count against it or hold against it, is that it was campy, it was ridiculous, but I don't think it ever set out to do that. I'd give it 2 stars.
Stars.
Screams.
Those screams. I have heard people that have really enjoyed this and had fun with it. It's just not something that hit with me. And I don't know if that's because I've seen so many horror movies at this point that I've come to expect a little bit more out of my horror movies. And it drug on a little bit too for me.
It was nearly 2 hours.
Yes.
And that's pretty long for a movie of that caliber.
As always, we would really appreciate it if you guys would like, subscribe and like and share and do all that good stuff for us. Write fan mail to Taquito, our bat
Little
mascot.
taco.
Little taco. I am a very disappointed Luke right now.
I'm an equally disappointed Ainsley.
And we have been
Scream Queenie.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.